This month of September, we're looking at the power of order, and the color that is aligned with that is olive green. The power of order is often misunderstood. People wonder, well, how do I use that? They think that order means something that's been placed on them, which there is some truth in that, but I'm talking about us using this power of order. And my topic today is, what is your order? Now, picture, a fancy restaurant recently. Wow, after months of sheltering in place, Olga Lucia and I were with a couple, and we went to an outdoor cafe, French restaurant. Can you picture the towel over their arm and waiting on you and just wanting to serve you? And they say, what is your order? Now, I've noticed various kinds of responses to that over the years when people go into a restaurant to order. Some people think when they see something on the menu, they think they know what it is because they gave that order at some other restaurant, maybe in some other part of the country or some other country, and they think, oh, okay, I liked it then, let me order that here now. And they don't necessarily ask questions of the waiter or waitress about, okay, I've had this dish, but could you tell me how you all make it? So I've sometimes seen people make an order, and then the waitress or waiter brings out their order. They bring out what the person said they wanted, but the person looks at it and says, what is this? Let's say it's an Indian restaurant, and I ordered Navratan korma. What's this? And the waiter says, well, that is Navratan korma. That's our Navratan korma. But I've never seen Navratan korma like that. Well, that's how we make it. Have you ever seen that situation where people have this expectation of what it was they were ordering, but it was far different from what they received? Or there are some people that just deliberate and can never make up their mind about what they want to order. My stomach's growling. Half an hour later, we're still looking at the menu and they're trying to decide. So, there are those people. And, sometimes there's people who can't even make up their mind what restaurant to go to. I've been with a few people that are very cavalier. They take their menu, they just toss it to the side, and they say to the waiter, surprise me. And so the waiter or waitress brings them what they think is their favorite dish. And the person, what I've noticed in those situations is that rarely do I see the person eat that entire meal. They want to try it, but it's like, not. Because they didn't have a good sense of understanding about what it was they wanted. So they gave that authority, that power, over to someone else. All of these are metaphors for how different people live life. Some people will say, well, this is what I want and this is how it should show up, but they don't have a clear understanding of how to actually get there. Or others are like, just surprise me. It's kind of like getting in a car, starting it up, getting on the highway and shutting your eyes. You'll get surprised, all right. We get what it is that we are really expecting and clearly understanding. The power of understanding works closely with the power of order because we need to have a good sense of understanding of what it is that we want in our life. Not just what we think we want, not just what someone else told us. Maybe you grew up being told that you needed to be a doctor or something. And maybe you went to science classes and you couldn't stand science. Maybe you didn't like zoology. Maybe you didn't like biology. I've seen some students when they are in college or master's programs even, where they're trying to fulfill some expectation, maybe of what someone else told them to do, but they're just fighting it the whole time. It doesn't resonate with them. They're a fish outside the water. They're not in the flow. They're not doing what they really, really want. Have you done that assignment? To really determine what your North Star is, to determine what it is that you really want to do, what your life is really about. When we get in the car, we have a GPS. Well, truth be told, we all have a GPS, a God positioning system. We all have this system to direct us to the movement of our dreams, to that presence of spirit. We're being pulled to that if we will allow it. Look at what it is that excites you, that energizes you, that which you're passionate about. And look at how you can deliver that kind of service, that kind of work, that kind of experience, and do it in service for others and for God. What is it that you want to order? I remember my wife and I going to a restaurant in Salida, Colorado. And I was starving. Oh, I just wanted to eat. And sometimes it's a little hard for me, because I don't eat any kind of meat products, nothing with egg or meat. And so I have to ask questions to make sure I'm getting what I'm ordering. I don't want to get surprised. And so we went in this restaurant, and I was with Olga Lucia, and Olga Lucia was studying the menu. And so she ordered this wonderful vegetable dish. Okay, so my wife does not like spicy food. In South America, not everyone eats spicy. You have a choice about that. It's not like Tex-Mex style. South America, she eats quite mild, actually. I'm the one who eats hot. And so they brought out her dish. And this is like a gourmet chef, supposedly. And her meal is just covered with black pepper. Just covered with it. And she's looking at this, and she's like, so she tries it. And she starts to cough and sputter and slam down some water. And she says to the waiter, this isn't what I wanted. Well, that's what you ordered. Well, it didn't say on the menu it was going to be covered with pepper. And so the chef came out. Kind of a diva. And he's like, what's the problem here? Well, there's pepper all over my food. Yeah? Well, I don't want pepper all over my food. He said, did you order it without pepper? She's like, no, I didn't know I needed to. He's like, well, if you don't tell me not to, that gives me the freedom to do it. That was a very interesting situation. The chef got so mad, he picked up all our plates, smashed all of our food together. He was carrying a whole bunch of mail, and his mail got smashed in the food. I said, but I'm really hungry. Can I eat that one? Anyway, being specific really, really helps. Unity of Wichita. Some of you are watching. I don't know if any of you remember this. Wichita had been experiencing a drought for 2.5 years. Some leaders came to me and said, Reverend Tim, we don't ever hear you pray for rain. You pray for everything else. We haven't heard you pray for rain. Would you pray for rain? So in the service, I did a prayer for rain. And I mean, I could smell it, I could feel it, I could see it. You know, lots of rain coming. In about 2 days, there was a massive storm that blew into Wichita. It blew and knocked out the stained glass windows across the back of the church, which was right above our soundboard. So the entire soundboard was ruined and filled with water. And the sanctuary was filled with water. And when I went in there a little bit later, the subflooring had turned into what looked like a miniature golf course. And the leaders of the church came up to me later and said, thanks for praying for rain. Next time, would you be a little more specific about a gentle soaking rain, not a devastating rain? It's getting to that whole point of what is your order? What are you putting into order? And when you determine what it is that you want, what it is that you're about, what your life is really about, then you begin to sequentially, using the power of order, determine what your plan, what your steps are to lead to that. That's using the power of order. It's using the power of understanding to know what it is that would be best for your life. And then it's using the power of will to decide, I'm going to act on this. I'm not just going to sit back and wait for someone to surprise me. I am not just going to dream about this and fantasize about this. I'm going to move in the direction of my dreams. I'm going to take action. I'm going to move. I'm not going to just sit here, because we have a responsibility to move in that direction using the power of our will. So, what is your order? Be it done to you according to what you have believed. That is what Jesus taught us. Be it done to you according to what you have believed. Jesus said, if you believe and say to this mountain, be moved and cast into the sea, it shall do it. What is your order? Have you placed it? Are you pursuing it? Are you putting in place those steps to bring it about? You are led in the direction of your dreams. You are the propulsion and the expression and the experience of the self-livingness of God. You are what you've been praying for. Let your life open and move with inspiration and joy. This is our time. Place your order. And I'd like to invite you to join me in some affirmations. Please repeat after me. Where I am, God is. And where God is, there is power, there is order, and I determine the order of my life. I determine the direction I am going. I move in the direction of my dreams. I am the propulsion of spirit. Nothing can hold me back. I am the presence of God in action.